Welcome to the Design and Style podcast, a podcast for designers by designers. And I'm your co-host, Rachel, with Rachel Moriarty Interiors. And with me is the lovely
Dixie with Dixie Willard Design.
Hi, Dixie.
Hey, Rachel.
Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon.
It is afternoon for me.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I am just winding up my summer. I don't know if you know that, but my kids are going back to school tomorrow. And
have you done the happy dance yet?
Not yet. I'm doing the rush to get them,
so tomorrow after they're at school.
Yeah, because I'm like, tomorrow I'm going to have to get up early. I'm going to have to make lunches. I'm going to have to,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing that kind of dance. I'll do the happy dance tomorrow once they're all out of the house and it's nice and quiet and clean. But we had in our Design and Style Club Facebook group, we had a question about, you're better wording the question than I am.
How do you keep your biz rolling when you're dealing with all of life's adventures?
And it's summer and, we have designed not only we're designing a life and a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's super important that what's great is we have the flexibility, to do I think of like my poor husband and he could do it on certain days, but
right.
We have the flexibility that we can, I did anyway. I pulled the gas off my business, the design part of my business, not the media part, not the social media part and the marketing part.
Right.
But I pulled the gas off a little bit to enjoy the kids. And, but we did do a couple of little trips here and there. Yesterday I spent time at the zoo. So this is actually very fresh in my mind.
That's right. I heard, by the way, that your favorite animal there was the flamingo, the pink flamingo.
That's what inspired.
Are you channeling
today? Yes, I'm channeling my inner flamingo today. If you are just listening on iTunes, you don't get it. But if you are watching on the YouTubes, I'm wearing all pink today. So, the first thing though that we're going to suggest is that you have to plan ahead.
Oh yeah,
obviously, right?
Yes.
You have to plan ahead. And what does that look like for you? You went to a place with no Wi-Fi. So what did planning ahead look like for you?
Well, it was supposed to have Wi-Fi.
Oh.
The lack of Wi-Fi was a little bit of a surprise.
That was a shock, yeah.
To everybody. But I went down to spend time with my husband's family over the 4th of July. I took my laptop with me so that I'd be ready to do my lives. So I'd be ready to record. I could keep up on Facebook with everything. I planned ahead.
You just went dark on me.
I did. So just be aware that even when you plan ahead, sometimes no Wi-Fi happens.
Yes, it does.
But that's where part B of planning ahead comes in handy, which is scheduling.
Scheduling everything.
Oh my gosh. Facebook will let you schedule posts in groups now.
That's so awesome. I love scheduling. I feel so productive when I have set I wish I could. I am the most productive when I have a vacation. That's what I'm trying to say. When I have a vacation and I need to get all that stuff done, I am so stinking productive. It's ridiculous. I wish I could be that disciplined on myself on just the regular Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But yeah, if you don't have any scheduling software, you and I both love Buffer.
Mm-hmm. And they have a free version that works great.
Yeah.
It doesn't do a lot, but it does enough.
Do they have a free version? I've never used the free version.
They used to. I started off with the free version.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
It's not a lot of posts.
Yeah, I do $10 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
It's very inexpensive. There's Meet Edgar.
Mm-hmm.
There's Hootsuite.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these will actually take them to your different platforms.
Yeah, you can send it to Twitter or Pinterest or Facebook, of course.
I don't do do that though. For me, I feel like the platforms are so different. Even if
Yeah.
it's the same post, there's something needs to change slightly on each post.
But one thing that I like about Buffer is like you can do a Pinterest specific post. It's not necessarily, you can do just a bunch of Pinterest posts and a bunch of Facebook posts.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be the same one. So that's one thing I like about that. One downside, of course, is that Instagram won't let anybody
Schedule.
post on there. So you're going to have to, you can plan
I
ahead.
thought Hootsuite did.
I don't know if Hootsuite does, but everything I've seen lately from Instagram is saying they're not gonna.
Oh.
But there are programs. Buffer will help you with that later. I have just discovered, and it is awesome because it lets you plan out, like visually see how things, and it's got a calendar, and it's got, you can search
Whoa.
for other, like if you wanted to repost something, you can search and find a post
What is this?
later.
Later?
I will have to put a link to it. I've just discovered it.
Huh. I'm writing that down.
And it'll even pull up like your top 12 so you can see how everything has been looking. So you can, instead of having to like go back and forth, it's all right there. And then there's an app for your phone and it will pop up with the post that you want to schedule, that you've scheduled when it's time for you to post it. And then you just post it from your phone. So you've gotten it all organized. You've got the post, you've got the copy. It lets you know, and then you just send it.
Wow. We are way geeking out on these scheduling
I know.
tools. But it is great. You know what? I do it too when I'm volunteering. I'm going to be volunteering again once a week at school. I mean, these are the things that are going to switch in my schedule. I know that on Fridays I volunteer. I schedule Friday stuff to go out, so I don't even think about it. I can be where I want to be. And that's the thing. You want to be where you are. If you are on vacation with your family, you want this stuff taken care of over here.
Yeah.
And that way you can just be present because it's super important to do this and connect on that level. So scheduling, plan ahead, schedule. I would, we said no Wi-Fi happens, but I would go live. That's because I have a daily live stream called Rachel's Daily Riffs. And for me, even though I wouldn't be going live on the daily on vacation with my family, I would still pop in just because that's my tool that I use all the time. It would be weird if I went black in that sense, I think.
Well, and something like that doesn't take up a whole lot of your time either.
I didn't mean to say go black. I meant go dark. As soon as that came out of my mouth, I'm like, what does that even mean? What did I just say?
I was sitting here going, something didn't sound quite right. But
I know.
put my finger.
What does that even mean? Did I say it even before? Excuse me, listeners. What does that even mean? I meant go dark.
But the good thing is that lives don't take up a huge chunk of your vacation time. So you can take, the kids are all getting showers or whatever, take a few minutes, do a quick live.
And what people are always saying, I don't know what to go live about. If you're staying at a hotel and you're like, oh my gosh, this hotel, let's say you're at the Biltmore. I could go live at the Biltmore like every single day. You know what I mean? Let's say you're just at a hotel where you're like, wow, I really love the way this room feels. Or maybe you're in, a common area, or maybe the view from your hotel, everything can still tie back, just in where you're staying, what you're doing.
I've seen some really good ones done by other designers where they have said, okay, this isn't working. And here's an opportunity to show you why it's not working. So you can use it as an example.
Yes,
both for
like
good
the cabinets that are like, why do you need cabinets in a hotel? Yeah. And then they're like too high where you can't reach them,
Or let's talk about the lighting in the hotel bathrooms. I have never seen one that had good lighting ever.
I know. It's tragic. It's tragic.
It really is.
So everything, everything that pertains to design, you can do that on vacation on the road as well. Maybe you are somewhere and you're like, this is inspiring to me, so there's two. I'm going to give a shout out to you. You and I haven't talked about this, but there's a company called Madcap Cottage, and the two guys that run that, they're the gents. They call themselves the gents,
Oh,
and they do a lot of traveling. And right now they're in. I follow them. I stalk them. Hashtag stalk. So they're in England, and so they're like, okay, I'm at this, we're at Camden Market right now, or we are at, we're in the Cotswolds, or you know what I mean, wherever they happen to be in, maybe they're at their favorite tea place, maybe they're at their favorite shop they love to go to, stuff like that. It's so easy to go live for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And just share with your audience because you're connecting. And like I said, I hashtag stalk them. And so this is embarrassing. What if they ever heard this? Like we're on iTunes. I need to stop saying.
Oh, I am so tagging them if I can find a way to do it. It's happening. Even if I have to go on Facebook to do it. It's happening.
The gents. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they know. They kind of know I love them because I'm like following them on Instagram. I listen to if they're a guest on a podcast, I listen to their podcast. I met them actually at the Design Bloggers Conference.
Really?
I was hella sick, so I was just more grabbed a couple fabric samples and left.
Well, good news is, gents, she's normally like this.
Exactly. So, that is a way, you want to connect with your audience in that, just not like promoting to them.
Right.
It's not about that. You want that real life experience.
Well, and it lends itself to the whole, you want people to know you. And if you're showing them things about your own life, you don't have to publicize necessarily everything.
Right.
But if you're showing them a little bit about who you are and the way that you think about design, I mean, just a simple live in a bathroom going, okay, I like this, but this doesn't work because it's showing them that your brain works, how your brain works, and your design
that you kind of never turn off in that part of your brain, what I mean, as much as we try. I love it. It's still a curation. You're still curating what, that's what we do as designers, and we're curating what we share with them as well, and it's still important if you're doing a live and you're on vacation to think about how you're showing up personally and curating where you're at. So making sure it's all in line. So that is, we went down that road, but again, I'm going to go back to my trip to the zoo yesterday. So this is a perfect example of what you can do. So I stayed present at the zoo yesterday. It was so funny. It wasn't even about anything to do with business. It was like, oh my gosh, it's the last couple days of summer, and I was with my sister and her new baby, who I'm addicted to boomeranging. Oh my gosh, I love boomeranging.
I'm addicted to watching your boomerang.
Boomeranging and babies is just like, I wish that would have existed when India was little. So I was just there, we were taking pictures of us. We were taking, I was taking pictures of, all the animals that I loved and blah, blah, blah. I got home. Of course, I was editing them. On my personal Facebook page, I posted pictures of, the animals in the zoo, all the pictures of us, and the kids and me and my sister. And that was, my personal Facebook, because that's where I do. If you're going to see any pictures of my family, and that kind of stuff, it's going to be on my first personal Facebook page. But what I did, it was funny, and it didn't happen until I posted it, was I was like looking at it, I'm like, wow, this stuff actually is super on trend in design. The flamingos, the tortoise shells, the giraffes, because, especially since we all watched April the Giraffe be born live, the giraffes, peacocks. And so I went and I'm working on a blog post, but I did a post yesterday, and I did a mood board of, the picture I took of the flamingos, the same post I took from my personal. I brought it over, and then I did some flamingo, artwork, pillows, things like that, because I started thinking a lot of my viewers and followers are going to be on vacation just like this. And if, we have the world famous San Diego Zoo here, which, we always
I'm
kind of like,
jealous.
I know, we always kind of like, yeah, we're going to the zoo because it's like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it when you said it. And then
I
you said San
know.
Diego Zoo, and I was like, oh, that's
The
right.
San Diego Zoo.
Oh,
I know. It is amazing. And it's funny when you're in there, then you realize that you're like, I can't believe I'm like, I can, because every once in a while you can peek and see, downtown areas, but it's just so lush that it's just, it's beautiful. But I started thinking, if I had, because there's so many tourists and we're in the, middle of summer, if I had taken a trip across country to be here with my family, how would I take this experience and you always want to incorporate, these are the layered story parts of your home, right? Like, how would I take this great experience watching my child like ooh and ah over, these animals, not the snake ones, not the reptiles.
She loved the snakes. She said,
loved it, but there were no pictures taken of the snakes. But I could have, now that I think about it, because snake print is very on trend too. But, how could I bring that into my home in an intentional way where for me, it makes the connection of that trip with my family in the summer of 2017 to the San Diego Zoo. So I'm working on a blog post right now on it. I did one post last night of one of my, because it was Mood Board Monday. So I was like, oh, let me get this mood board in right under the deadline. But that is a way you can do, you can use that and don't even think about it in the time. Just take pictures of inspiring things while you're there. And then when you get back, for me, it was actually a way of processing it for me. Maybe I'm not going to do that same thing in my home, but me creating the mood boards and the blog posts, I embodied that experience and really took it in on a much deeper level.
Well, and you can do that no matter where you go. If you go to the beach or the mountains or the Grand Canyon, there's all kinds. How often do we talk about having an inspiration from nature in a design?
Gosh.
I mean, that's like
ultimate. Yeah. Ultimate. Mountains, beach. And then like I just had never thought of the animals.
Yeah.
And then until I started like looking at my photos and I was like, and I only took specific ones, which was super funny. And then I was like, these are the ones that are like on trend in design. You know what I mean? I was like,
that's funny.
I know. So I'll share this blog post with, I'll share on the Design+Style page once I get it up. You're making my nose itch.
Well, you talked about it earlier, and now it's contagious.
I know. So we also talked about everything as content. Going live is a great way. But also we want to stress, I think, using that. I'm a road trip girl. We love road trips. You do too, because
I can't fly.
You can't fly because of your allergies. I love road trips. Road trips are the best for my mind and actually not that I'm like intentionally creating, but it just happens,
Well, you got that freedom to just sit there and I mentioned this to Rachel earlier, but I'll just sit there with my eyes closed. My husband thinks I'm sleeping. Kind of. But really, I'm just sitting there thinking things through, getting creative. And he laughs at me because I'll be sitting there so still and quiet with my eyes closed. And all of a sudden, I'll jump up and grab my pen and notebook
your journal.
and start writing stuff down. I'm like, I need to remember this. And then I'll lean back again with my eyes closed because it's just a peaceful time. I think we get so caught up in all of our day-to-day stuff. We've got stuff going on all the time. We've got noise all the time.
Noise.
Just having that quiet. Well, we always have the radio playing, but if you didn't have the radio playing, that quiet hum, that white noise from the tires, and just the peace and quiet and freedom to just go wherever. You're not stuck in any little boxes. You can just
I almost took a vacation while you were talking right now. While you said all that, it was so weird. I actually just I came
you could picture it.
Yeah, I was literally picturing the road and then the for me, I was picturing when I do because usually we're heading to Arizona or something like that, and there's just all that flat land. it's cool. I love that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I want a road trip. It is. You realize on those, other than, we are, we're big music people. So we love, we do create our playlists and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you realize how much, and I would say I definitely am addicted to tech sort of thing. I'm constantly consuming. I'm one of those people. I consume content. I consume podcasts. I watch YouTube, so I don't realize until I get on a road or spend the day, at the zoo, like just how much of a break I need from that.
Right.
And I need to create that more intentional, which is going to be our next thing.
Yes, it is.
Focus. Because we need to focus on focusing. And I think that's a great place to end it, right?
I think that's perfect. We covered everything that we wanted to say. And, if you have any more questions, you're always welcome to join us in the Design & Style Club, which is at facebook.com/groups/Design & Style podcast. And, we'd love to see you.
We'd love to see you. And to the Madcap gents, if you hear this podcast, we'd love to have you on as a guest.
Absolutely.
Have a great day, you guys. Bye.
Okay.